Hello, everyone. I always got to clean off my photo, my camera. What's up? We are going live. We are going live. Happy Mindfulness Monday, y'all. It is Monday and it is Pi Day 3.14. Comment below if you know the rest. Which, joke's on you, it's infinity, right? We know that numbers can go on for the rest of time, whatever time is. We're already getting meta on y'all. We are already getting meta. What's up, y'all? Happy Mindfulness Monday. Happy March. Can you believe it? It's March, and in Minnesota tomorrow, and this week, it's gonna get warm. And I'm so excited because my nervous system and my body loves warm weather. Loves warm weather. I love cold weather too, but there's a threshold, right? There's a threshold in which my body says, it's time. It's time for the sun to come out. And I know a lot of people get up in arms about daylight savings, but if you think about it from a different perspective, the sun stays out later really because we manipulated the time, right? And it gets light out sooner. So there's a plus, right? And I also know it totally throws off our circadian rhythms. I am not a fan of it. I really wish that Mindfulness Monday. I really wish that daylight savings time would just be not a thing, right? I don't think Arizona changes their time. So it's why can't we be like Minnesota or Arizona, be like the desert? Anyway, cheers. Today, our topic was inspired by a conversation that Ashley and I were having more recently about trusting your body and the advice that I love and I give away often. And there's a caveat. I am someone where I study work outside of chiropractic. If you haven't figured that out, I study the nervous system, I study trauma, I study work from psychologists, from mental health therapists, from somatic practitioners, from coaches to mindset to everything in between, right? That is my jam. And so for me to grow and learn and be able to teach, I do my due diligence and I study what other people are saying and what their credentials are. And something that I have found that I just want to bring to the surface and speak to as a chiropractor, as someone who's trained in biology, physiology, neurology, biochemistry, right? I'm not saying I'm better than anyone else. That is not what I'm saying. And what I am saying is that I have studied a lot of the systems of the body and how they work. And something I'm finding is that there are a lot of experts out there who have made podcasts, written books, created courses, and they speak to this concept of trust your body, trust your body. Awesome. I love that because I agree. And if you have been defaulting and living in a trauma response, you may be, and your bodily cues and sensations that you are familiar with may be stemming from a trauma response. It may be from a fawning, a fitting in, a fight response, a flight response, a freeze response, right? What am I talking about here? So what this can look like, for example, is let's say you're getting advice from someone who maybe doesn't have the background of physiology, but they're telling you, trust your body knows best. And unless they know your body and they know your nervous system and they know how you default, they may not understand that you living in your body has maybe not felt safe. Maybe your body has not felt like home. And maybe the cues that you get from your body, you're not even getting any cues, right? You don't get signs and signals in the way that maybe a regulating nervous system would, right? And so, for example, what this could look like is, let's say you were given an opportunity to join a podcast, right? And let's say that you have a fear of public speaking, you have a fear of messing up. And so every time there's an opportunity to maybe step into something that you are actually aligned with, your body goes into freeze state. Maybe you feel numb in your fingertips, you feel queasy in your stomach, you feel tension in your chest, right? You get these sensations, or maybe you feel nothing at all and you totally disassociate and you're almost like witnessing your body, but you're not actually sensing your body, right? You're almost the observer. Now, unless you know that that's a default response and you're not actually embodied, and someone says, trust your body, you can do whatever you want. Well, how can you trust your body if your body has been in a state of chaos or disassociation and you haven't learned how to trust your body? So someone just giving the advice of trust your body, while in theory it is accurate and it is beautiful and there's wisdom and there's great medicine to trust your body, if you haven't learned how to trust your body and you haven't learned how the body can default and how the body experiences trauma, then someone just telling you to trust your body may feel totally like inaccessible and as though they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And you go into the same old patterns that are keeping you stuck and in the same place. So back to the podcast example. If you're invited, let's say, to a podcast, or you're invited to something, or someone is challenging you to rise into something that you know will serve you, and yet your body is giving you another sign. Every single thing, and when you're living in fight or flight, and you're in maybe fawning or freezing or fitting in, every single thing may be seen as a threat. And your body, because it's been used to a pattern, may give you the response that it's a threat when in actuality, it's not a threat. And this comes into perception, it goes into the body-mind connection, it goes into a lot of what I'm talking about in our April mental emotional mastery. But hopefully this is making sense. Comment below if this is making sense. When you've been living in a paradigm, your body and your neurology takes on patterns that become familiar. And just because something is familiar does not mean it's efficient, and it does not necessarily mean it's working for you long term, right? It's clearly working for you, and it's clearly it has served you, and it may be diminishing your light. It may be diminishing your ability to heal. So back to the podcast analogy, if you're someone who's wanting to grow your business, or you've been wanting to step up into leadership, and yet you've been operating in more of a stressed mode, that sense of like, oh, stepping into a podcast, well, it requires work, it requires engagement, it requires connecting, it requires communicating back and forth with someone and planning, right? And like actually taking the action steps to make it happen. Your nervous system may start to feel and give you cues to, this is new. And just because you feel that like different sensation does not mean it's going to annihilate or kill you, but the unfamiliarity of growth may feel a certain way in your body. Now, I do believe that growth can be more sustainable, and it doesn't need to be these like huge effortful leaps, but when you actually do start to clear your central nervous system and you start to clear your perception, you can trust your body more, and you can trust your sensations as well as align with actions and opportunities that are coming your way and actually do align with your more embodied self. And yet, if you haven't been given the opportunity to connect to your wholeness and your sense of embodiment, and you're living maybe in this fragmented animal brain, stressed out, everything may seem like a threat. And so if you're trusting your body in this state, and people say, trust your body, you may be totally annihilating the ability to expand and grow into things that serve you. So yes, trust physiology. And I get this may sound a little contradictory to what I teach people. I just wanted to break this down though, because I'm seeing a lot more people talk about trust your body, trust your body, trust your body, but they're not talking about the nervous system. Because when I say body mind, what I'm really referring to is your central nervous system. And again, if your body hasn't been a place that you can trust and it hasn't felt like home, then you may be at a place where you're like, I don't know if I trust my body. And I don't know how to trust my body. So there's definitely ways and practices that you can continue to come back home and allow your body to be a source point of trust and intuition and guidance. And it can take some support in creating that. So this is where working with someone can be super helpful. For example, what I do in the office, helping people's nervous systems feel aligned and coherent so they can trust their bodily cues and make sure that they're not operating out of fight or flight. Okay? So I digress. I just wanted to come on here and kind of set that clear of what I'm seeing in the culture and what that actually means and how you can start to actually train yourself to come back home and then trust your body and allow your body to be a source point of wisdom and healing. Not that it's not when you're in those states, right? And I talk about the 5 F's and how the nervous system defaults and what that looks like in the body and how it sounds and how it shows up as behavior and language. And some of those like cues that you're getting, it's a cue and it can serve you in the moment, and it's really important to keep learning self-regulation so the deeper language and signals can come through with more clarity, and you're not annihilating opportunities, which is a freeze response. And again, I understand that a lot of this communication and this education does require understanding the central nervous system and how it manifests. And I'm just seeing people giving advice on social media, but they don't have the background to be talking about it. So everyone's body is intelligent and we all have these patterns within us. It's a matter of, is it an embodied response? Okay. So maybe the question to ask ourselves as I wrap up here is, one, if someone is saying trust your body, before you maybe, if there's an opportunity or something coming your way, or maybe it's a difficult conversation, or maybe it's something that you don't want to do and you're having trouble saying no, maybe instead of saying, oh, I'm trusting my body, it says, am I in a regulated state to provide a response back that aligns with what the present moment is? And let me know if this is making sense. Comment below. So asking, are you regulated? And if, I'm going to be talking about how do you recognize dysregulation in the central nervous system, what does that look like, and how to come back to wholeness and embodiment. That'll be April. The link, I put it in the video or in the comments below. Asking yourself these questions, which does require being regulated enough to slow down and attune, right? And not being reactive, and being more responsive and a leader in life, and being more present. And in that regulated state, you can really trust your body. And I'm not saying you can't trust your body in dysregulation. It's a little bit fragmented, right? It's like the message is going through a prism where it's like, this is kind of reality, but maybe a little bit of an illusion. And the more you practice self-regulation, breathing, all the stuff we talk about, those messages will definitely come through more clear, okay? So I'm going to keep it shorter this week. I appreciate you all, and I'm wishing you a happy Mindfulness Monday and wishing you a happy Pi Day. Cheers.